What is the mind? This question has been asked for as long as human beings have had the ability to wonder. Children ask it when they first feel the mystery of their own thoughts. Poets ask it as they listen to the silence between words. Philosophers wrestle with it in books that span centuries, and scientists probe it with machines, measuring brainwaves and mapping neural pathways, still humbled by the vastness of what they cannot fully explain. Have you ever sat quietly by a river, just watching the water? At first you notice details, the ripples, the patterns, the sunlight flashing on the surface, but after a few minutes, something shifts. Your thinking slows, your breathing deepens. You stop analyzing and start simply being. The noise of your day fades, and you feel a kind of clarity, not empty, but peaceful. That state, gentle and luminous, is what science calls the alpha state of mind. It is not a new discovery. Long before we had EEG machines to measure brain frequencies, ancient sages already described this state. In India, yogis spoke of dhyana, deep meditation, where the restless waves of thought grow calm. In Greece, philosophers retreated into silence to hear the voice of reason within. In Christian monasteries, monks spoke of the peace that passeth understanding. In Sufi poetry, silence was the garden where God's presence could be felt most intimately. What is remarkable is that across continents, across thousands of years, human beings found the same doorway, whether through prayer, meditation, walking in nature, or gazing at the sky. They discovered that within stillness lies a special state of consciousness, calm but awake, quiet but alive. In our modern age, where life runs at a frantic pace, we need this state more than ever. Screens flash, notifications ping, schedules overflow. Our minds are constantly in beta mode, planning, worrying, analyzing, stressing. We may think this is productivity, but in truth it drains us. The alpha state is the antidote. It is the mind's natural reset, the pause that refreshes not only the brain, but also the soul. In this video, we are going to journey into the alpha state together. We will explore what it is, both scientifically and spiritually. We will learn how to enter it through meditation, through nature, through chanting, through everyday practices. We will walk through different cultures, seeing how each has described and celebrated this state in its own language. And we will finally arrive at the deepest insight: why the alpha state is not only healing, but also a key to creation itself, the state through which the law of attraction becomes most powerful. So, take a breath. Slow down for a moment. Let your heart soften. Imagine that you are about to open a door, not just into a concept, but into an experience. The alpha state is not something far away. It is here, waiting quietly, like a river inside you. This distinction is not new. Ancient cultures wrestled with it in their own ways. In the Upanishads of India, the mind, manas, was described as the tool of perception, always restless, while the true self, Atman, lies beyond it, eternal and unchanging. Plato compared the soul and mind to a charioteer trying to guide two horses, one noble, one wild, symbolizing reason and desire. St. Augustine reflected on the strangeness of the mind's divided nature. The mind commands the body, and the body obeys. The mind commands itself and meets resistance. In Chinese philosophy, Taoists saw the mind as something that must be emptied to flow with the Tao, the natural way of the universe. What are mind and brain? To understand the alpha state, we must first understand the foundation, the difference between the brain and the mind. The brain is flesh and matter. It is the most complex organ in the known universe, weighing about 3 pounds, made of billions of neurons connected by trillions of synapses. Electrical impulses race through it at incredible speeds, carrying signals that let you see, hear, think, and move. You could hold a brain in your hands. You could weigh it, scan it, dissect it. It is physical, measurable, observable. The mind, on the other hand, is different. It is not flesh. You cannot cut it open or measure its weight. The mind is your thoughts, your memories, your imagination. It is the joy you feel when you see someone you love, the grief that grips you when you lose them, the hope that carries you forward in dark times. The brain is like a musical instrument. The mind is the music it plays. Modern neuroscience takes a more material view. It tells us that the mind is the result of brain activity, that every thought corresponds to electrical and chemical patterns. Yet even science admits that the subjective experience, the feeling of being you, is still a mystery. Why should billions of neurons firing create not only behavior, but also awareness, self-reflection, the feeling of joy or sorrow? That puzzle is called the hard problem of consciousness, and it remains unsolved. Perhaps this is why across cultures people have turned not only to science, but to philosophy, spirituality, and poetry to describe the mind. Because while the brain can be studied like a machine, the mind must be lived like a journey. Think of the brain as a mirror. The mirror is physical, glass and silver. The mind is the reflection in the mirror. The reflection depends on the mirror, yet it is not the mirror itself. And just as a reflection changes depending on the light, the mind changes depending on the state of the brain. This is where brain frequencies come in. Just as a mirror can reflect sharp images or blurred ones depending on how it is shaped, the brain reflects different qualities of mind depending on its rhythms. And among these rhythms, the alpha state is one of the most important because it gives the reflection of peace. Why we need alpha state? Why should we care about the alpha state? Why not just live in the sharp edge of beta waves, always thinking, planning, and pushing forward? After all, isn't productivity the goal of modern life? The truth is, human beings are not machines. We are rhythms. We are cycles. Just as the heart beats and the lungs breathe, the mind also needs to move through its natural rhythms. When we live in constant beta, when we are always on, always stressed, always chasing, we become exhausted, anxious, and burnt out. Our creativity dries up. Our bodies weaken. The alpha state is the antidote. It is not laziness. It is not sleep. It is active rest, the fertile soil where clarity and creativity grow. Alpha state reduces stress. In the alpha state, the nervous system shifts into balance. The sympathetic system, which triggers fight or flight, quiets down. The parasympathetic system, which allows rest and digest, takes over. Cortisol, the stress hormone, lowers. Heart rate and blood pressure stabilize. Breathing slows naturally. Even the muscles soften. This is why 5 minutes of quiet breathing can feel like hours of rest. It is good for creativity and flow. Alpha is a playground for creativity. When the inner critic, the voice that judges every idea, takes a back seat, the imagination flows. Writers, artists, musicians often enter alpha when inspiration strikes. Studies show people generate more original ideas when their brains are in alpha rhythm. It is the state of daydreaming, where imagination is free to wander and connect unusual dots. Focus and attention. Alpha is not just calm, it is selective. Like a gatekeeper, alpha suppresses irrelevant signals so the mind can focus on what matters. This is why meditation improves concentration. This is why students who practice relaxation often perform better on exams. Alpha doesn't just relax, it sharpens. Emotional balance. Have you noticed how when you're stressed, even small problems feel huge? In Alpha, emotions are still felt, but they don't overwhelm. Anger becomes manageable, sadness becomes gentler, joy becomes more steady. Alpha is like a lake, ripples come, but the water doesn't overflow. So, why is the alpha state good for us? Because it is the mind's natural reset button. It heals the body, it restores the spirit, it sharpens the intellect. In a world that glorifies doing, alpha teaches us the power of being. And from being, true creativity and strength are born. How to enter the alpha state? Now that we know why the alpha state is so precious, the question is, how do we enter it? The good news is, it is not difficult. In fact, it is natural. The alpha state is always near, like a river flowing just beneath the surface of your daily mind. All you need are the right gateways. Meditation. Meditation is the most universal path. Find a quiet place, sit comfortably, close your eyes, breathe deeply. Focus on one thing, your breath, a mantra, or simply the space behind your eyelids. At first, thoughts will chatter. That's normal. Do not fight them. Imagine them as clouds drifting across the sky. Your job is not to chase the clouds, but to watch them drift. With practice, the chatter fades. Breathing slows. The brain shifts naturally into alpha. Studies show even beginners can increase alpha activity after just a few minutes of meditation. Walking in nature. The Japanese call this Shinrin-yoku, forest bathing. Walk slowly among trees, feel the ground beneath your feet, listen to birds, smell the air. Do not rush, do not plan. Just walk as if each step is a prayer. Research shows that being in green spaces lowers stress hormones, boosts immunity, and increases alpha activity. Nature is not just scenery, it is medicine for the mind. Water gazing. Have you noticed how watching waves can hold your attention endlessly? Flowing water creates a natural rhythm that draws the mind inward. Ancient cultures held rivers and oceans sacred. In the Psalms it says, "He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul, sit by a stream or ocean. Watch, listen, breathe. The water will carry you into alpha." Movement practices. Stillness is not the only doorway. In yoga, each posture with breath becomes meditation. In Tai Chi and Qigong, the body flows like water, steady and soft. These practices combine movement, breath, and awareness, guiding the brain into alpha while keeping the body alive with energy. Everyday moments. Alpha does not require hours. You can enter it in small ways. Close your eyes for 1 minute at work. Take 3 slow breaths before a meeting. Watch clouds drift for 5 minutes. Listen to calming music without doing anything else. These tiny pauses are hidden doorways. Alpha is not far away. It waits in the quiet moments you often overlook. The gateways are many. Choose one that speaks to you. Whether meditation, nature, prayer, movement, or simple stillness, each will lead you to the same river, the alpha state. Cultural and ancient references. The alpha state may sound like a modern discovery born of EEG machines and laboratory experiments, but the truth is far older. Long before science named it, humanity experienced it. Across cultures, across centuries, people spoke of the same state of calm awareness, each in their own language. India, the path of stillness. In India, the roots of meditation stretch back thousands of years. The Upanishads, among the most ancient spiritual texts, speak of the mind as restless, like a monkey leaping from branch to branch. To still, it was the highest practice. The Bhagavad Gita teaches, wherever the restless mind wanders, bring it back under the control of the self. This gentle returning is exactly what modern meditation research shows. Each time the mind drifts and you bring it back, alpha rhythms grow stronger. The Yoga Sutras of Patanjali describe yoga as the cessation of mental fluctuations. In practice, yogis would sit, breathe, and focus until the mind grew quiet, slipping naturally into alpha. Though they did not measure brainwaves, they described the experience with precision, clarity, peace, and union with the self. Buddhism, mindfulness. In Buddhism, mindfulness, sati, and concentration, samadhi, are central. The Satipatthana Sutta instructs monks to observe breath, body, feelings, and thoughts with gentle awareness. In doing so, the mind becomes calm yet alert. Today, EEG studies show that mindfulness increases alpha and theta activity, exactly as the texts suggest. The Buddha compared the calm mind to a still lake. When water is still, you can see your reflection clearly. When it is disturbed, you cannot. Alpha is that stillness, the reflection of truth without distortion. Christianity, prayer of the heart. In Christian mysticism, particularly in the Eastern Orthodox tradition, monks practiced hesychasm, the way of silence. Their central practice was the Jesus prayer. Lord Jesus Christ, have mercy on me. Repeated with the breath, the prayer would descend from the lips into the heart. The goal was hesychia, holy quiet, the silence where God's presence is felt. When described in modern terms, this practice brings the same results as meditation: slowed breathing, reduced stress, increased calm, and likely a shift into alpha states. The experience was not described as brain waves, but as peace that passeth understanding. Sufism, the language of the heart. In Sufi Islam, dhikr, remembrance of God, is practiced by repeating divine names or phrases rhythmically, often with music and movement. The poet Rumi captured its essence. Silence is the language of God, all else is poor translation. In dhikr, practitioners enter states of ecstasy and peace, where the mind quiets and the heart awakens. This too resonates with the alpha experience. Greece and Rome, the Stoic silence. The Stoic philosophers also knew the value of inner calm. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "Nowhere can man find a quieter place than within his own soul." The Stoics practiced inner silence, reflection, and control of emotion, practices that echo the qualities of alpha. Across the world, in temple and forest, in desert and monastery, humanity has found this same inner rhythm. Whether called yoga, mindfulness, prayer, dhikr, or stillness, the alpha state has always been with us. Science has given it a new name, but the wisdom is timeless. Science meets culture. Now let us bring these two worlds together, the world of science and the world of culture and spirit. At first, they may seem separate. Science speaks in numbers and graphs. Culture speaks in poetry and parable. But if we listen closely, we hear that they are describing the same river from different banks. The physiology of stillness. Science tells us that when you close your eyes, slow your breathing, and let go of distraction, your brain shifts toward alpha rhythms. This shift is measurable, 8 to 12 Hz, gentle waves visible on an EEG. Alongside it, the parasympathetic nervous system activates, lowering stress, relaxing the body, and quieting the heart. Now listen to the cultural voice. The yogi sitting in meditation, the monk whispering a prayer, the Sufi spinning in remembrance, the Taoist flowing with the Tao. They describe peace, They describe clarity. They describe a calm heart. Different language, same experience. The function of alpha. Neuroscience adds another layer. Alpha is not just calmness. It is a gatekeeper. It selectively inhibits irrelevant brain regions so you can focus on what matters. This explains why people in alpha can sustain attention, imagine vividly, or enter creative flow. Culture describes this differently. The Buddha spoke of right concentration. The Gita spoke of returning the wandering mind to the self. Hesychast monks spoke of guarding the heart. Each of these metaphors points to the same truth. Distraction fades, focus deepens. The universal pattern. Why do all these practices, though so different in culture and form, converge on the same state? Because human physiology is universal. Whether you are a monk in Tibet, a yogi in India, a philosopher in Greece, or a scientist in a laboratory, your brain is the same. When you breathe slowly, close your eyes, and attend inwardly, alpha arises. It is like music. Different cultures play different instruments, sitar, flute, oud, lyre, but the melody is the same, the melody of stillness. The wisdom of integration. Modern science does not erase ancient wisdom. Instead, it confirms it. The EEG machine is not a competitor to the monk's prayer. It is a translator, showing in waves what the monk felt in silence. And cultural wisdom enriches science. Without the metaphors of rivers, lakes, prayers, and silence, the numbers would be dry. It is the stories, the traditions, the lived practices that give alpha meaning. The bridge between science and culture is this. Both remind us that peace is not far away. Both show us that the alpha state is not just a brain rhythm, not just a spiritual ideal, but a living experience available to all. When we integrate science and spirit, we see the whole picture. We understand not only how alpha works, but why it matters. And with that understanding, we are ready to walk through the final doors toward creation, manifestation, and the law of attraction. Alpha state and the law of attraction. We have discussed the law of attraction in a previous video. You can check that video. Now we come to a question that bridges psychology, spirituality, and philosophy. How does the alpha state of mind connect with the law of attraction? The law of attraction is simple in words but profound in practice. Like attracts like. The energy you carry, the thoughts you think, the emotions you feel, the visions you imagine, shapes the reality that unfolds around you. If your mind is cluttered with fear, doubt, and restlessness, you project that energy into the world. If your mind is calm, clear, and focused on what you desire, you send out a different signal. But here is the challenge. Most of us live in constant beta. Our minds are busy, anxious, scattered. We try to use affirmations, but they feel hollow. We try to visualize, but our thoughts wander. We try to believe, but doubt rises louder. In high beta states, the law of attraction seems weak because our energy is fragmented. This is where alpha becomes essential. Alpha is the bridge between the conscious and the subconscious. It is the state where your mind is calm enough to focus, but awake enough to create. In alpha, visualization is not just an idea. It becomes an experience. When you picture your dream home, or your goal, or your desired relationship in alpha, you can feel it, almost touch it. That emotional resonance is the magnet that draws it toward you. Think of it this way. The subconscious mind is like fertile soil, but in stress and beta noise, the soil is hard, dry, unreceptive. In alpha, the soil softens. Seeds of intention sink deeper. They take root. Over time, they grow. This is why so many traditions combine silence, prayer, and intention setting. Yogis visualize while meditating. Christians pray with faith in stillness. Sufis chant with devotion. Each practice enters alpha first, then sets intention. The sequence matters. First, the mind becomes quiet, then the heart projects desire. Science hints at the same truth. In alpha, the brain is more plastic, more open to suggestion. Hypnosis, which relies on focused relaxation, uses alpha and theta states to imprint new beliefs. Athletes practice visualization in alpha to enhance performance. Therapists guide patients into relaxation before affirmations. All of this is the law of attraction in action, shaping reality through calm, focused intention. So, if you want to use the law of attraction more powerfully, do not try to manifest in stress. Do not force affirmations when your mind is racing. Instead, enter alpha. Close your eyes, breathe, relax. Then, when you are calm and open, visualize with feeling. See your desire. Feel gratitude as if it is already real. Hold that vision gently, like a candle flame in your hands. In that moment, you are not just thinking, you are aligning. And alignment is the true power of attraction. Closing thoughts. So, what have we discovered together? We began with a question: what is the mind? We saw that the brain is matter, but the mind is experience. We explored the symphony of brainwaves, from the slow delta of deep sleep to the fast gamma of insight. In the middle, we found alpha, the calm, clear rhythm of relaxed wakefulness. We learned that alpha is not new. Science measures it now, but ancient cultures lived it long before. Yogis in India, monks in Christianity, Buddhists in meditation, Sufis in dhikr, Taoists in stillness, all found the same state, described in different words but with the same essence: peace, clarity, presence. We discovered why alpha is good for us. It reduces stress, sharpens focus, awakens creativity, and balances emotion. It is the body's natural reset button, the mind's inner sanctuary. We walked through the gateways: meditation, nature walks, gazing at water, chanting, yoga, tai chi, or even a simple minute of silence. Each doorway leads to the same inner temple. And finally, we saw how alpha connects to the law of attraction, how it is the fertile soil where intentions sink deep, how it is the bridge between thought and reality, between the conscious mind and the universe itself. In alpha, your visions take root, your emotions align with your desires, your energy resonates outward, and the world responds. So here is the invitation. Do not think of alpha as something far away, something reserved for monks or mystics. It is within you, right now. Every time you pause, every time you breathe, every time you close your eyes and soften your mind, you touch it. The river is always flowing, you simply have to step into it. The alpha state is not magic, but it is close. It is the ancient rhythm of the mind, the bridge between science and spirit, the key to both inner peace and outer creation. So step into it, breathe into it, trust it. For when you find the alpha state, you do not just find relaxation. You find yourself, you find creation, and you find the universe waiting quietly, ready to whisper back. If this message touched you, please like, share, and subscribe. Together, let's grow a community that chooses stillness, clarity, and creation.